Hi, Matthew Appleby, Horticulture Week editor. I'm here at Glee with event director Matt Meehan. So Matt, how are you doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
And how's the show going?
Yeah, the show, it's a really busy start to day one. Very, very exciting to be back, especially on the new June dateline. But a much bigger show this year. And we've got over 181 new and lapsed brands coming back to Glee.
Right, okay. So you mentioned change to June. How has that gone as it used to be in September for many, many years?
Yeah, it was a very careful piece of research that we did in terms of moving the dateline. We consulted with the industry, in particular retailers, on some of the change to their buying habits, especially with pre-season, but also as well ordering well in advance and planning, just better planning for the year ahead. So I think moving to the dateline was a necessity really going forwards to make the event as transactional as it's ever been.
Ordering. A lot of garden centres are telling me they're overstocked, particularly with big ticket items. So do they have the money to order? Are they ordering really?
Well, we'll find out over the next 3 days, but each garden retailer will be in a different position. Some have bought quite a lot of pre-season stock and have warehousing. Others not the case. I think what we're looking at the moment is obviously a slight change in market conditions. The last 2 years have been phenomenal with gardening really at the forefront of leisure activity, and you know with the opening post-pandemic. Other leisure activities are taking over or coming to the fore. But gardening is still strong. I think a fair comparison going forwards will be what 2019 was like versus 2022. That's a more like for like comparison, I think, in terms of where the industry is, and it's still up on 2019 figures, which is pretty good. But there's some pretty high expectations over the last 2 years, and whether that's just starting to reset a bit now.
Now we've got over 300 new products here, but one issue bringing the show forward to June is pricing. Some people can't set them because they don't know what's going to happen in terms of inflation until products start to arrive in garden centres December, January. So do you think people have set prices, or what are they doing?
But again, it varies from across the show, depending on what you're manufacturing or importing to the show. So each exhibitor will have their own solution in terms of what they're doing around pricing. Some will set later. I think it's more about showing the new products and giving indication of cost. Some will have pricing and be able to share that. I expect also that there will be orders taken still for this season in certain ranges, as well as looking ahead with these fantastic range of new products that you've got here, and looking at planning and ranges for next season.
Talking of next season, we've talked a little bit about how 22 is a bit like 19, but what's 23 going to be like?
Yeah, it's interesting to predict. Obviously, there's lots of challenges at the moment. I don't really want to sort of dwell on that at the moment. But gardening, as a sector, has fared pretty well before when there's been challenges with the economy. I think gardening will still be at the front of people's minds. It's an affordable hobby, and actually a lifestyle that people have taken on since the pandemic. So things like grow your own and just really getting out and enjoying the gardening. There are still quite a lot of people working from home. That hasn't changed. It's a new trend. It's changed in terms of what we do, in terms of our working habits. So people are still looking at their gardens and want the best for their gardens. So I think it's here to stay, and we can look, I think, confidently through to 23, try and take a positive approach to the year ahead.
Great, that's good news. Thanks a lot there to Matt Meehan from Glee.